On February 25th, 2025, a seismic shift rippled through the gaming industries as Warner Bros. Games announced the closure of Monolith Productions, a developer with a storied 30-year legacy alongside Player First Games and WB Games San Diego. The decision also axed Monolith's long-gestating Wonder Woman game, unveiled with high expectations at the Game Awards in 2021. WB Games framed this move as, quote, a strategic change in direction, redirecting focus towards other key franchises such as Harry Potter, Mortal Kombat, DC, and Game of Thrones.
I am the god of jits and wine.
As confirmed in statements to outlets like Kotaku and Polygon. Yet beneath this corporate rhetoric lies a tale of mismanagement, squandered potential, and an industry wrestling with its soul.
I want your soul.
The shutdown of Monolith, a studio loved for titles like Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor, is not merely a footnote in WB Games' history, but a lens through which to view the company's broader struggles and the perilous state of game development under corporate stewardship. Monolith Productions, founded in 1994 in Kirkland, Washington, emerged as a distinctive voice in gaming's formative years. Its early titles like Blood, which came out in 1997, a gory first-person shooter with a darkly comedic edge, and The Operative No One Lives Forever came out in 2000, a stylish spy adventure established Monolith as a studio unafraid to blend innovation with personality. These games, low, not blockbuster hits, garnered cult followings and showcased a willingness to experiment within the FPS genre, a space then dominated by giants like ID Software and Valve. The studio's acquisition by Warner Bros. Marked a turning point, aligning with Monolith, the media titan eager to expand its interactive entertainment under the WB banner. Monolith delivered Fear in 2005, a paranormal shooter celebrated for its AI-driven enemies and eerie atmosphere, and condemned Criminal Origins in 2005, a visceral dive into urban horror. Both titles underscored Monolith's technical acumen and narrative ambition, cementing its reputation as a developer capable of pushing boundaries. The studio's defining moment arrived in 2014, with Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor. Set in J.R.R. Tolkien's universe, the game introduced the Nemesis system, a revolutionary mechanic that allowed orc adversaries to remember player encounters, evolve based on their defeats or victories, and weave dynamic rivalries into open-world framework. Critics hailed this system as a breakthrough, and it earned Monolith a slew of awards including Game of the Year nods. The Nemesis system became a benchmark, influencing decisions about procedural storytelling and player agency in games. In 2017, the sequel, Middle-earth Shadow of War, expanded this vision but stumbled under the weight of WB's corporate influence. The inclusion of microtransactions, loot boxes tied with orc recruitment sparked backlash, tarnishing the game's reception despite its ambitious scope. Players argued that these monetization tactics undermine the Nemesis system's organic appeal, a sentiment echoed by players across the world. Post Shadow of War sold well, its critical sheen dulled, hinting at tensions between Monolith's creative instincts and WB's profit-driven mandates. Post Shadow of War, Monolith pursued two projects, a mysterious new IP codenamed Legacy, and the Wonder Woman game. Legacy was quietly shelved in 2021, a decision that triggered an exodus of talent, including co-founders who departed from Cliffhanger Games under EA. The Wonder Woman project, unveiled with a cinematic teaser in 2021, promised to adapt the Nemesis system into Diana Prince's mythic world, a tantalizing prospect for fans. Yet its development proved torturous. Bloomberg's Jason Schreier reported in February 2025 that the game underwent a reboot in late 2023 or early 2024, shifting from an open world design to a more linear God of War inspired action adventure. This pivot stemmed from struggles within Monolith's aging in-house engine, compounded by the loss of programmers familiar with its quirks. The announcement of Monolith's closure on February 25, 2025 stunned the industry, with over 130 employees at its Seattle area office. The studio's end erased a legacy spanning 3 decades. WB Games' statement paid lip service to Monolith's history, but justified the shutdown as a shift away from projects misaligned with strategic priorities. The Wonder Woman cancellation in particular was attributed to an inability to deliver the, quote, highest quality experience under the company's refocused lens. This explanation, however, does beg scrutiny. What does this reveal about Warner Bros. Games' operational dysfunction? To grasp Monolith's fate, one must contextualize WB Games' volatile trajectory within Warner Bros. Discovery, led by CEO David Zaslav since the 2022 merger of Warner Media and Discovery Inc. The gaming division oversees a roster of studios: Rocksteady Studios, NetherRealm Studios, TT Games, and Avalanche Software, alongside the now shuttered Monolith, Player First, and WB Games San Diego. Over the past decade, WB Games has oscillated between dazzling triumphs and staggering missteps, embodying the promise and peril of a conglomerate navigating the gaming landscape. The biggest success speaks for itself. Hogwarts Legacy in 2023, crafted by Avalanche Software, sold over 22 million copies, capitalizing on the Harry Potter franchise's global fandom to become WB's biggest hit in years. Rocksteady's Batman Arkham trilogy from 2009 to 2015 redefined superhero gaming. Its fluid combat and atmospheric Gotham setting a template still revered today. These victories underscore WB's strength in leveraging iconic IPs to deliver mass market appeal. Yet its failures have been equally glaring. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, Rocksteady's shift from a single-player mastery to a live-service looter shooter, bombed spectacularly. With a $200 million budget, it floundered amid tepid reviews and a market wary of an always-online grindfest, leaving WB with its financial black eye. Honestly, everything that went down with this game, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, could be its own separate video. Multiverses, helmed by Player First Games, relaunched after a promising beta, but hemorrhaged players due to aggressive monetization and scant updates, contributing to a $100 million loss, alongside Harry Potter Quidditch Champions. These flops expose a recurring flaw: WB's continued failed pursuit of live service models despite clear signs of player fatigue, as evidenced by the reception to titles like Anthem and Marvel's Avengers in the years prior. David Haddad, WB Games president for 12 years, departed in January 2025 amid criticism of his tenure of lacking strong cohesive vision. His fixation on live service profitability pushed Rocksteady into Suicide Squad game, and the blundering of Shadow of War microtransactions clashed with the market tilting back towards single-player experience, as seen with the success of games like Elden Ring. His exit followed layoffs at Rocksteady in 2024 and nearly 100 job cuts at WB Games Montreal in December 2024, painting a picture of division adrift. Monolith's closure fits this pattern of instability. The studio's post-Shadow of War struggles of cancelled projects, talent drain, and the Wonder Woman reboot reflected a broader inability to align creative talent within corporate goals. WB's strategic change may aim to right the ship, but it raises a haunting question. At what cost does stability come when it sacrifices a studio of Monolith's caliber? The cancellation of Monolith's Wonder Woman game epitomizes WB's dissatisfaction. Announced in 2021, the project carried immense promise, a chance to meld the Nemesis system with Wonder Woman's lore, capitalizing on her cinematic resurgence. The initial teaser hinted at an open-world adventure with Diana facing evolving foes shaped by player choices, a natural evolution of Monolith's strengths. Yet fears of silence fueled rumors of trouble confirmed by Jason Schreier's February 2025 expose. Development woes mounted early. Monolith's in-house engine, a relic from the Fear era, struggled to meet modern open-world demands. Ended with WB opting to stick with the proprietary tech, a choice hampered by the departure of engineers who understood its intricacies. By late 2023 or early 2024, the game rebooted into a linear action adventure. This shift, Jason Schreier notes, left Wonder Woman years away from release, with morale at Monolith catering as leadership grappled with WB's indecision. The cancellation announced alongside Monolith's shutdown was framed as a pragmatic retreat. WB claims the game no longer fits its strategic priorities. This mirrors industry trends. Publishers like Square Enix and Ubisoft have similarly axed titles like Final Fantasy VII's Rebirth mobile spin-off and Division Heartland to focus on, quote, surefire hits, yet WB's failure to apprehend Wonder Woman to completion exposes deeper flaws. The Nemesis system, patented by WB Games in 2021 with exclusivity until 2036, could have been a cornerstone of the game. yet it languished as WB deteriorated. Monolith's expertise was squandered, its closure a testament to the company unwilling to invest in its own innovations. And now, with the shutdown of Monolith Productions, the future of the Nemesis system lies in a state of limbo. Though WB retains the patent, its potential for expansion into other projects remains uncertain. The failure to incorporate it into a Wonder Woman game highlights just how far WB has strayed from its commitment to innovative gameplay, regulating a groundbreaking mechanic to obscurity. With no clear plans for the Nemesis system's future use, it risks becoming another forgotten element in WB's shifting priorities, rather than the dynamic storytelling tool it was always intended to be. Meanwhile, WB's flagship fighting game series Mortal Kombat faces its own growing struggles. While the company continues to claim the success of Mortal Kombat 1 as one of its key franchises, the reality is probably a bit more grim. Despite initial sale figures, the game has experienced a notable decline in player engagement. Online activity and concurrent player numbers have steadily been dropping, signaling a loss of interest in the franchise. Rumors began to circulate that WB Games may soon halt future updates for Mortal Kombat 1, a move that would further alienate the game's diminishing player base. This decline raises questions about the long-term viability of the series, especially when compared to other franchises that have found greater success in sustaining player engagement, such as Tekken or Street Fighter. As Mortal Kombat loses its footing, WB Game faces a dilemma: how to reinvigorate an aging franchise while grappling with the fallout of Monolith's shutdown and other high-profile failures. WB Games' pivot, articulated by J.B. Peretti, I'm pretty sure I said that wrong, who was the head of Warner Bros. Discovery Global Streaming and Games, in a memo to staff, reflects a calculated response to a disappointing 2024. He acknowledged that the product market fit and quality of too many of our new releases has really missed the mark, citing Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, and Multiverses as culprits. His remedy, a fewer but bigger franchise strategy, zeroing in on Harry Potter, Mortal Kombat, DC, chiefly Batman, and Game of Thrones to regain credibility and swagger while stabilizing the finances. I'm not joking, he actually said that. Swagger. And to be fair, this approach does have some merit, at least in theory. Hogwarts Legacy's success proves the potential for established IPs, offering a safety net against the unpredictability of new ventures. A rumored Rocksteady Batman game and Hogwarts Legacy sequel could anchor WB's recovery. However, I personally am a bit skeptical on the whole Batman situation given everything that went down with the Suicide Squad game, but it's impossible to deny there is always going to be a hunger for a new, good quality Batman game. Yet, the execution betrays a myopic vision. Shuttering Monolith, a studio with a proven knack for innovation, trades long-term potential for short-term gain. Player-first games acquired in 2024 only to be discarded after Multiverses flopped, and WB Games San Diego focused on mobile titles have all met similar fates, suggesting a lack of commitment to struggling teams. And this aligns with Warner Bros. Discovery's broader ethos under Zaslav, whose cost-cutting has seen completed films like Batgirl and Coyote vs. Acme shelved for tax benefits. In gaming, this manifests as a risk-averse stance, prioritizing shareholder value over creative daring. Monolith's legacy cancellation in 2021, driven by WB's aversion to its untested IPs, and the Wonder Woman fiasco illustrate a chasm between corporate etiquettes and studio autonomy. As Schreier reports, Monolith's leadership banked on their Shadow of Mordor clout to secure Legacy's approval, only to be rebuffed, a misstep that foreshadowed their downfall. Monolith's closure resonates beyond WB Games, echoing across an industry battered by upheaval. The past 2 years have been brutal. We've seen over 10,000 jobs lost in 2023 and 14,000 in 2024. It's become so bad that even IGN, of all places, has had to acknowledge there is a problem fueled by ballooning budgets, market saturation, and a retreat from the live service excess. Unfortunately for developers, the lesson is a grim one. Accolades and ingenuity offer no shield if projects stray from profit mandates. Another example is X-Defiant with Ubisoft. You have the creator of the original Modern Warfare trilogy, and his game got shut down in less than 6 months? Monolith's loss, a team praised for being creative, for fusing design and tech darkens the industry's creative horizon. WB's retention of the Nemesis system patent dormant since 2017 further irks me. For WB Games, redemption rests on its surviving studios, Rocksteady, NetherRealm, TT Games, nailing the fewer but bigger mantra that they're trying to commit to. A Batman revival or a Hogwarts Legacy sequel could potentially restore faith, but the division's battered reputation and talent drain pose hurdles. And quite honestly, these hurdles are something I'm very skeptical they can overcome. The shutdown of Monolith Productions of February this year, a microcosm of WB Games' broader malice, a cocktail of financial missteps, leadership flux, and a retreat from ambition. Monolith's journey from Blood's quirky gore to Shadow of Mordor's technical marvels embodies gaming potential when creativity thrives. Its end alongside Wonder Woman's cancellation and the closure of Player First Games and WB San Diego signals a company battening down the hatches, favouring familiar shores over uncharted waters. WB's strategic change may shore up its covers, but it sacrifices a studio that shaped the medium's evolution. As the industry and players across the world watch WB's next step, a lingering tension persists. Can a focus on this fewer but bigger mantra franchise recuperate the swagger that they've been craving? Or will it entrench a cycle of safe bets over bolder leaps? Monolith's fall is a stark reminder that in the clash between corporate callous and creative legacy, the latter too often are the ones paying the price.